I've already expressed my gratitude to Dallas because they've been my home for the past few years. But let's talk about what just happened. Satu Sabally just made the smartest career move by signing with the Indiana Fever after spending 5 seasons with the Dallas Wings. Now, you might be wondering, why leave Dallas? What's the big deal? Let me break it down for you, Caitlin Clark. She's the WNBA superstar rewriting history. She's a game changer, and when someone like Clark is on your team, everyone wants to play alongside her. Sabally saw what the rest of us already know: Clark has the ability to transform a franchise, and Indiana is on the rise because of her. This move wasn't just a career decision, it was a power move. Sabally knew that teaming up with Clark could take the Fever to new heights. Let's talk about what Sabally brings to the table. During her 5 seasons with the Dallas Wings, she averaged 15.7 points, 7 rebounds, and 3.6 assists per game. These aren't just good stats, they're the numbers of a player you build a team around. Yet here we are, with Dallas letting her walk out the door, and Indiana pulling off what might be the biggest heist of the year. But let's not act like this was sheer luck for Indiana. This was a calculated move. With a cap space of $650,000, the Fever didn't just stumble upon this opportunity, they planned for it. They're not waiting for success to fall into their lap. They're actively building it. And it seems Sabally had been eyeing this move for a while. Don't believe me? Check her reaction, nor lack thereof, to Dallas drafting Paige Bueckers with the no. 1 pick. No posts, no tweets. Not even a generic good luck message. That silence wasn't just quiet, it was definite. It's like she had 1 foot out the door the moment Indiana called. Meanwhile, Indiana is celebrating like they've just hit the jackpot. And honestly, they might not be wrong. Pairing Sabally's versatility with Clark's superstar potential could turn the Fever into a serious contender. For Dallas, though, it's a bitter pill to swallow. Losing a player like Sabally and still hoping to rebuild around a rookie like Bueckers is a risky gamble. The WNBA landscape just shifted, and all eyes are on Indiana. With Clark leading the charge and Sabally ready to soar, the Fever aren't just rising, they're taking off. Dallas, on the other hand, might be left wondering how they let this happen. Let's turn the spotlight to Dallas. They should be celebrating after landing Paige Bueckers in the 2025 draft, a generational talent who can effortlessly score 20 points per game. But instead of basking in the glory, they're left looking like the team that just fumbled their star player at the worst possible moment. It's like throwing the party of the year, only to realize halfway through that your guest of honor left without saying goodbye. Now, let's talk about why Satu Sabally left. Last season, fresh off an injury, she delivered career-high 17.9 points per game while shooting an elite 45.2% from three-point range. That's not just good, it's superstar-level production. So, what did Dallas do to reward her? They offered her a 1-year deal worth $195,000. At first glance, it sounds like a decent paycheck, but for a player of Sabally's caliber, it's an insult. No long-term security, no commitment, just vibes and a check that doesn't reflect her worth. And here's where Dallas really deserves criticism. They've secured Paige Bueckers, a player who could lead the franchise for the next decade. Yet they let Sabally walk away. Sabally could have been the perfect mentor, teammate, and second star alongside Bueckers. But instead, Dallas now looks like a team scrambling to piece together a plan that's already gone up in smoke. It's like buying a Ferrari but forgetting to insure it. Meanwhile, over in Indiana, the Fever are doing everything right. They've already built a hungry young core featuring Caitlin Clark, Nalissa Smith, and Kelsey Mitchell. These aren't just good players, they're future all-stars who are laser-focused on winning. Adding Sabally to this lineup, it's like dropping a turbocharged engine into an already fast car. GM Amber Cox and coach Stephanie White aren't just managing a team, they're building a dynasty. With smart planning and decisive moves, they've positioned the Fever to dominate the league for years to come. If you're a basketball fan or a smart player looking for a winning culture, Indiana is the team to watch. The truth is, Dallas had a chance to build something special, but their lack of vision might cost them dearly. Meanwhile, Indiana is proving that when opportunity knocks, you don't hesitate to open the door and build a championship caliber squad. If you've seen Caitlin Clark play, you'd want to play alongside her too. And here's a kicker and inside source just leaked some juicy details. Let's not forget what Satu Sabally brings to the table: defense, check; clutch shooting, double check; drawing fouls like it's an art form, triple check. She's the kind of player who changes the pace of the game just by stepping on the court. And Indiana Fever fans, oh, they know it. Social media is on fire with messages like "this is our year" and Indiana Fever Dynasty loading. The excitement isn't just about Sabaly's talent, it's about what she represents. Hope that Indiana can finally reclaim the championship form they haven't seen since 2012. Let's not dance around the obvious. Caitlin Clark is the magnet pulling elite talent straight to the Fever. If you needed proof, Satu Sabally just handed it to you on a silver platter. Clark isn't just a player, she's a phenomenon. A one-woman show redefining what it means to be a superstar in the WNBA. Fans are already calling her the GOAT, and for good reason. Her rise as a generational talent has turned Indiana into the league's hottest destination. Here's a wild stat. In 2024 alone, the Fever sold out over 10 home games. For the WNBA, that's almost unheard of. And it's all thanks to Clark, who doesn't just pack arenas, she shreds defenses and makes it look effortless. Pair that with Sabally, who's hitting her prime at just 26 years old, and you've got a recipe for disaster for every other team in the league. Sabaly's lethal 40.6% shooting from beyond the arc combined with Clark's pinpoint playmaking is a nightmare matchup. Imagine this. You double team Clark, and Sabally is out there draining threes like it's a warm-up drill. Focus on Sabally instead. Great Clark will just cut through defenses and make them look silly, as she always does. One analyst even described Clark as her own economy, and honestly, that's spot on. This isn't just hype, this is the reality of her influence. She's reshaping Indiana Fever's future and turning them into serious contenders. Now, let's talk about Dallas. Sabally has been unusually quiet, which isn't a great sign for the Wings. While Indiana is making all the right moves, Dallas seems stuck, unable to hold onto their key player. If Sabally officially joins Indiana, this duo of Clark and Sabally could dominate the league for years to come. The WNBA is shifting and all roads seem to lead to Indiana. Fever fans, buckle up, this might just be the beginning of a dynasty. It seems pretty clear Satu Sabally might be ready to move on from Dallas. She's been there for a while, but it looks like she's ready for something new. And honestly, who wouldn't want to play alongside Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever? But let's not kid ourselves, Caitlin Clark is more than just a basketball star. She's a movement. Her presence has completely redefined what it means to play for the Fever. She's not just selling tickets. She's selling hope, ambition, and a vision of greatness. Sabally clearly saw the writing on the wall. This wasn't just a basketball decision for her, it was about aligning herself with a force that's transforming the WNBA. Playing with Clark isn't just a bonus, it's a career-defining opportunity. As for Dallas, fans are understandably emotional. One fan begged, "Satu, please stay in Dallas," and Sabaly's response telling. Out of hundreds of comments, she only liked 8, 2 of which said things like, "The Fever would love to have you." That speaks volumes. It's hard to ignore that kind of signal. Here's the reality. Sabally seems to want out of Dallas, and it's not hard to see why. The Wings, as a franchise, feel stuck, no real momentum, no clear vision. Sabally, on the other hand, has been thriving overseas with her Turkish team. She's been putting up superstar numbers, dominating on the international stage, and proving she's not just a solid player, but one of the WNBA's most sought-after free agents. That kind of success overseas doesn't just build hype, it elevates her stock in the WNBA. Teams know they're not just getting a good player. They're getting someone at the peak of their game, ready to impact both ends of the court. Then there's the Dallas drama. Rumors have been swirling about Sabaly's reluctance to share the spotlight with rookie phenom Paige Bueckers. And let's be honest, why should she? Sure, Bueckers is expected to be a generational talent, but Sabally has already proven herself. Why take a backseat when she can be the centerpiece of something special? That's where the Indiana Fever come in. They didn't just see Sabaly's worth, they valued it. With Caitlin Clark leading the charge, the Fever offer Sabally a chance to be part of a team on the rise, a team building towards something extraordinary. It's not just about winning games, it's about creating a legacy. Sabaly's journey has been nothing short of remarkable, and this next chapter might just be the most exciting yet. While Dallas fans may hold out hope, all signs point to Sabaly moving on, and if she joins the Fever, the WNBA better watch out. The Indiana Fever aren't just assembling a team, they're creating a powerhouse. Word on the street is that Sabaly had been in talks with Fever management long before this news hit the public. And those conversations weren't just about money, they were about vision. The Fever aren't just offering her a paycheck, they're offering her a central role in their quest to build a championship contender. Unlike teams like the New York Liberty, who are drowning in salary cap issues with a roster full of max contract players, the Fever have both the resources and the foresight to secure Sabaly's future. Let's take a moment to applaud Indiana's management because, while other teams are still figuring out basic strategies, the Fever are playing 3D chess. They didn't just throw money at Sabaly, they strategically built a team around her. With Caitlin Clark, Nalissa Smith, Kelsey Mitchell, and now Sabaly, Indiana has gone from being an underdog to a legitimate championship contender almost overnight. This isn't just team building, it's empire building. Meanwhile, over in Dallas, they're left holding the bag. The #1 draft pick should have been their moment to shine. Paige Bueckers is the kind of player that franchises dream of, and she could have been the perfect complement to Sabaly's dominance. But instead, Dallas fumbled in spectacular fashion. Letting Sabaly walk wasn't just a loss, it's a franchise-altering mistake. It's like winning the lottery and forgetting to cash the ticket. Now, the Fever are on the rise, and Dallas is left wondering how they let such a golden opportunity slip through their fingers.